last little bit of makeup out of the bottom of that container, just wait. Don't throw it out. Find a sharp little tool, run it across the edges, pop open the back. You'd be surprised by how much is still in there.
As I've said on the channel before, TikTok is kind of taking over the world, with not only Gen Zers making dance videos on the app anymore, but people of all ages making content on tons of different topics. One huge genre on TikTok that's been blowing up lately has been beauty videos, with TikTokers giving their best beauty hacks in under a minute. Hey, what's up IOers, it's Mackenzie here, and today on the channel I'm going to be listing the top 10 best beauty hacks on TikTok you need to try. And if you're into makeup and beauty even a little bit, I'm sure you're gonna love at least one of the hacks in this video. There are more than a few things that I discovered from researching this video that are gonna definitely be staple things for me now. Also, I did another video on the worst TikTok beauty hacks as well, if that's something that you also want to see. And of course, before we get into it, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you like videos like this and want to see more of them. Okay, now without further ado, let's get into that list. In at number 10, Fix Stained Sponge. So if you use beauty blenders or other types of sponges when doing your makeup, then you know that they can get stained pretty easily. And sometimes when that happens, you might feel like the sponge is kind of dirty and then you just end up throwing it out. But this TikToker has a good solution. Basically, you can just cut off the part that's stained, and usually the part that's under it will look perfectly new. My only issue with this is that I use beauty blenders that are shaped like an egg, so I don't know if it's possible to cut off a portion of it, because then like the whole purpose might kind of be ruined. But if any of you have done this, please let me know. I'd really love to see if that could kind of like revive some of my beauty blenders that are, you know, really gross and stained. And at number 9, pop off acrylic nails. So if you didn't already know by watching the videos, I'm addicted to acrylics. I love them. They're just everything, you know, even though it makes my job a million times harder because then I have to type with these things. These aren't as long, I just got them done, but usually they can get pretty long, and then, you know, typing is an issue. But I still love them, and you know what I mean, just kind of need them to feel put together. And I remember back when this all started and everything shut down, I actually had acrylics on and I was forced to take them off myself at home, and it was a really frustrating process that probably did a lot more damage to my nails than really needed to. But now this TikToker actually has a solution, and basically if your nails are loose enough, you can sometimes just pop them off yourself and it will be somewhat of a clean break. And if you want to do it, the best tool to use is one of those tooth flosser things, but it has to be one that's secure on both ends. Yeah, it can't just be the stuff that you kind of rip off freehand, and you basically just put it up to your nail and like swipe it underneath and it'll just pop off super seamlessly. And at number 8, blush tips. So this short video is packed with good tips for putting on blush. And I honestly didn't realize how much blush can change your face until I started watching these TikToks. But one thing in particular that I've learned is that you want it to be really precise with the placement. That's why the tips in this video are to use a small brush when applying so you have all the control. But to ensure that you don't apply too much, hold the brush at the end of the brush, not in the middle like you usually would. And then if needed, you can blot with the same brush or sponge that you applied your foundation with to kind of soften it out. And I've been doing the blotting trick forever because nothing screws up a good makeup routine more than just, you know, too much blush or getting in the wrong place. So I've been doing that, but the other one to leave it far enough on the brush, that's really interesting, and I definitely have to try that. And at number 7, clean fake lashes. If you wear fake lashes and want them to last longer and look better, then this is definitely the trick for you. Basically, you combine some baby shampoo with micellar water in a shallow dish. Then you put in the lashes and just let them soak. Then when you pull them out, you'll be able to pull off the lash glue, and any dirt or makeup that was on the lashes should hopefully have melted off in the wash. And I personally don't wear false lashes because they just seem, you know, too difficult for me to do. I just don't have the patience. But let me know if you think this would work for you, or if there's other ways to care for falsies that, you know, are not in this video. And at number 6, Dry Shampoo Dangers. So if you're an avid user of dry shampoo, this one is kind of a little scary. So this TikTok user says that if you leave dry shampoo in your hair overnight, it can cause dandruff, itchiness, and even hair loss. So to make that not happen, you have to thoroughly brush it out of your hair before you go to sleep. And I was a tiny bit skeptical when watching this, especially of the hair loss comment, because I can't really see how dry shampoo could lead to hair loss, right? But then when looking further into it, basically this would only happen if you frequently skipped hair washing in place of dry shampoo, and used dry shampoo multiple times in between washes. And for me, I definitely don't do that just because my hair would look really gross, and I only ever use dry shampoo on days that I know I'm gonna shower like later that night. So I guess the moral of the story is better safe than sorry, and you should just brush out your hair if there's any dry shampoo in it. But there won't be any bad side effects unless you use dry shampoo like just way more often than you probably should. Let me know how often you use it it below between washes. For me, I would look so bad if it was any more than one, so for me it's a hard one, and then I have to wash. Halfway through number 5, clean palettes. So if you have big palettes, then you definitely know the struggle of getting shadows basically like all over it, making it really messy after only a few uses. But here's one really interesting hack. Basically, if you take a makeup wipe and wrap it around something wide and flat, here this person used a primer jar, and then you wipe it across the palette, and basically because it's so perfectly flat, it'll only wipe off the powder and not the shadow that are in like the shallow pans. And I personally haven't tried this one yet, but I always get my powders everywhere, so I'm definitely gonna do this one ASAP. And at number 4, fuller lip trick. So this next hack is something that I swear Miley Cyrus invented, because she's been doing this for years. And this is a trick to instantly make your lips look bigger. Basically, instead of outlining your cupid's bow when you do your lipstick, if you wipe it over the cupid's bow and kind of like fill in that gap there, it makes your lips look way bigger. And this is especially helpful for people like me that have a way bigger lower lip than upper lip. Then in the rest of the TikTok, she also makes her lips look slightly bigger by putting a shiny lip gloss only in the middle of her lips. Let me know if you tried this one before. I've definitely done it unintentionally, just because I've tried to overline my cupid's bow and then it just kind of turns into a mess that's blurred out because I'm really bad at overlining. So mine hasn't been intentional, but it's definitely happened before. And at number 3, best sponge cleaning solution. So this one I can actually fully recommend because I tried it over the weekend and it worked so well. Like, my sponges have never been so clean. So in a shallow dish, you mix half olive oil and half dish soap and kind of just mix it together. Then here it's not too clear if she put this solution on a wet or a dry sponge, but from my experience doing it myself, it's better to get it a little wet so it absorbs better. Then you just coat the sponge and let it soak for a few minutes, and when you rinse it, you'll be so shocked by the amount of makeup that comes out of the sponge. Like, I seriously was ready to throw out some of my older sponges, but because this cleaned them so well, I don't have to anymore, so thank you so much, TikTok. And at number 2, nose contouring. So I'm sure you all know the traditional way to contour the nose. Basically, you'll just take some sort of contour powder and carve out the sides of your nose to kind of shadow the sides. And then you can make the part in front, look light and add some shimmer to make it slim. But this way is kind of reversing that, and instead of using shadows to contour, you use color on the front of your nose to elevate it against the light of the baking powder. So in this video, she started by taking baking powder along the sides of her nose where people would generally contour. Then while there was still a thick layer of powder on the sides of the nose, she added a warm blush on the front of her nose to add that contrast. Then after lightly blending it out, she adds the finishing touch of 2 spots of highlight on the nose, and voila, there's basically your contour. And in my opinion, this looks really natural, especially if you're wearing the same blush color on your cheeks, and might even be easier for a lot of people too, because I could never do the super specific nose contour that beauty gurus do. Like, I literally just take some contour powder and kind of like slap it on the sides of my nose and call it a day when I'm getting ready for work, but I really want to try this one. And finally, at number 1, foundation hack. This is a hack that went super viral on TikTok, and it's very intricate, but allegedly will get you super flawless coverage for your foundation. Basically, you start off after moisturizing, then you apply loose powder. Then after you put on a light layer of powder, you spray some setting spray to moisten it up. Then this step is really strange, but you'll put on your primer, but make sure that the setting spray is dry before you put that on. Then after all that, you can now put on the foundation. Then the person who's reacting to the voiceover says how shocked she is by how good that it looks, and her skin ended up looking flawless, even without using the beauty filter on TikTok. And I don't have the patience for this hack personally, but if you have tried this, please let us all know if it was as good as it looked or if it wasn't worth the extra effort. Okay guys, so that's all for this list, but I know there are so many more, so please give this video some love if you learned something new and want me to make more videos like this in a series, because I swear there could be at least 3 parts. Also, let me know which one shocked you the most and which one you're definitely going to be trying as soon as you click off the video. But before I go, I'm going to shout out some comments from my video on celebrities that look the same. So PE said, if there are 7 other people looking like me, I would like to meet them. Honestly, that's kind of like a bucket list thing for me now. I want to meet at least one of them, because it's a whole other thing to like see a person that looks like you. That would just be so much crazier than, just looking in a mirror. Then Sweet V said, Jamie Presley and Margot Robbie look alike also. So I wasn't too sure who Jamie was, so I had to look her up, but when I did, wow, like they really do look similar. Similar hair color too. I think the smile is really the main difference for me, but other than that, when they have like a flat expression, they look really similar. Then another user said, I'm not seeing the Ryan Reynolds thing. Their noses are different shape and his cheekbones sit higher. Well, obviously there's gonna be some, like gender differences, but honestly, if they both agree that they look similar, I mean, I'm not gonna disagree with that. I personally still think they look really similar, but Yeah, they know their faces better than anyone, so if they think they look alike, I'm here for it. Okay everyone, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it all the way here, I really appreciate it. And be sure to like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram to be kept up to date with all the news and tea you'll ever need to know. And I will see you all in the next one.